hello. I still don't have my voice back, but I did this video yesterday. Please just bear with my voice just a little longer. I did this video yesterday. I had not seen the Netflix series when I did this. After I posted the video, you guys told me about the Netflix documentary in the comments, so I went and I watched it. While I watched it, I took notes, okay? Because I never, excuse me, I never basically got the whole entire story, if that's what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? I never knew details or nothing like that. I just knew about this elevator scene and her being found up in the water tank. So I took a lot of notes. I paid attention to the people that were talking. I even read some of them, and not on purpose. It was just I can pick up their energy with the police, certain police that were in the documentary. So, and I'm not saying nothing bad. So I'm gonna tell you all the things that stood out to me in a big way, okay? So I'm going to read it off, and as I read it off, I'm going to cross it off, because then I'm going to get into something a little deeper. All right, give me a second. I got to find my... There it is. Hold on. I'm sorry. All right. So with the documentary, one of the first things that I have... Well, one of the top things I have is that her toxicology report said she wasn't taking her meds for a few days, okay? So let's cross that out, now that I said it. Number 2, that her clothing were off in the tank. Now, it was explained in one of the later episodes that it could have been from hypothermia, right? And that she took her clothes off. It says... hypothermia. Okay, so my thing is with Kanika Jenkins, right? Kanika Jenkins' autopsy cause of death is literally hypothermia. But she was not butt naked. Only her private parts were showing and exposed, okay? Her backside of her bum and her chest was exposed. Her foot and her belly and her back, right? So she didn't strip out of her clothes or anything like that. And I'm just making points of what I see comparing, okay? Then we have the controversy of the cops saying the tank lid on the top of the tank was closed, but an employee saying it was opened. Okay, so they're just saying, "Oh, it's just confusion. It was closed. It was opened." Okay, I didn't like that. That was a little too fishy for me. Then it says that her autopsy cause of death was drowning, but there was no water in her lungs. Okay. Second, her body was found face up. Okay, in most victims that drowned, they are found face down. Okay. She says out her own mouth on her Tumblr thing that my mouth will get me in trouble. It will get me in trouble. Okay. She has a slick mouth and she has no hair on her tongue, and she means what she says and she says what she means. And that's what I picked up. In this elevator scene. Remember when she was doing those weird hand movements when she was like in the elevator, pointing in the elevator, and then like pointing out here and pointing in the elevator? I took it like her hands were in a weird position, but it was as if she was explaining or arguing gestures with her hand. Like, no, I was in there, he was out here, and you know what I'm saying? And I could see her getting slick with the mouth when that was happening, right? The hotel said... Hold on. The hotel had lots of... Oh, that's for something else. Oh, that's for the back of the page. And let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. So then the next thing it says, I think the meds played a big factor, okay? But not what they're trying to portray, okay? Yes, she was off her meds. Yes, she's bipolar. The hotel stated that she was having crazy episodes where she was putting notes on people's doors and beds, and that she came down in the lobby and was like, I'm crazy, and to me, they just told me they knew she was having a breakdown, basically. When somebody's doing that, they're having a breakdown, and everybody knows this. So, my thing is, they knew she wasn't mentally right. Did she now become a target? An easier target than somebody in the right state of mind? Again, excuse my robotic voice. I don't get it. I don't know why. So now, I have a few things here circled and kind of like bubbled out and here and over there, so it's a little messy, but we're going to get through this. On top of the roof, only employees have keys to get on top of the roof, and the fire escape leads to the roof, but you don't need a key because you just open the window and go right up in it. Now the dogs, the cadaver dogs or whatever they call, they picked up a scent towards the fire escape. I told you I felt like she was talking to somebody. Somebody could have been like, hey, we're having a party. Come up there, ba ba ba. And to even prove in that fact, there was pizza boxes on top of the roof. There were cigarettes on top of the roof. There was beer bottles on top of the roof. Okay? And I feel like if they didn't come through the actual, the door, I feel like they just used the fire escape, and that's something they always did. I feel like this is another Kanika with the kitchen and them smoking in that back fucking room, excuse my language, that this was a hangout spot. And this is who I have in mind. This is who I feel it could be. The homeless. They said that it was filled with homeless people. Okay, if I'm homeless and I could get onto a roof instead of on the street, guess what? I'm sleeping on that roof. You know what I'm saying? It's away from everybody. The roof, the residents, the workers, her roommates. Remember, she had roommates in the beginning before they switched her room. The hotel cover-up, hotel cop corner cover-up, okay? We've seen that before. So then we have things about the timestamps being blurred on the footage or it being slowed, and the police, oh, no, the one we got don't have none of that. Okay, I'll take your word for that on that one, so I'll X that one out, right? So now it says here, when they're talking to the police in this documentary, every time the police spoke, I didn't hear them explaining things. I almost felt like they were giving excuses, okay? There was an error on the autopsy. The way the guys explained it, there was two of them. The way they explained it, I got weird vibes from it. I felt like they were giving excuses, trying to convince us, okay? Excuse me. Employee climbed up to the top of the tank and said it was opened. The police said it was closed. Again, I heard excuses. Oh, it was just an error. This and this and that. Oh, da 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 da. And all I heard was excuses, okay? So then we have down here how the officer, so in the beginning they show Elisa Lam's parents and sister at like a press conference almost, and I guess the press conference was over, and the officer that was with them, the way he kind of like pushed the father off, like, all right, go on. It wasn't comforting. It wasn't his arm around his shoulder like, hey, come on, I'll walk you this way. It was more like, all right, get out of here. It's over there. Go. And I didn't like that. I just picked up a weird vibe from that. And then it says Netflix steering the narrative. Yeah, with the police and lots of excuses. So with the MTV series for Kanika, I felt like they were trying to steer their own narrative to say, hey, nothing happened to this girl. And again, I feel like they're trying to steer the narrative of, hey, nothing happened to this girl, let's all just move on. Okay, so now it got me thinking. All right. I looked up on Google how many people actually died in the Cecil Hotel, Cecil. I think it's Cecil. I don't know. But I believe it was 16 deaths that are known. So I wrote them all down, right? And you got some older ones, and then you got some fresher ones, right? But I noticed there was a freaking pattern. There's a pattern, like a real pattern. The lady, the manager, the hotel manager lady, she says out her own mouth. Let me see if I can find it here. Here. There was lots of drug overdoses and suicides, right? When I did this paper of all their autopsy reports and what they died from, there was no drug overdoses. People were poisoned. It literally says poisoned, poisoned, poisoned. It says nothing about drug overdose, okay? So that was creepy. The people that supposedly suicided themselves, these were like a Navy officer. Where's the other one? Hold on. An Army Med Corp sergeant. Okay. Hold on. There's more. A U.S. Marine fireman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's weird. And what I feel Spirit is pulling me to do, I have not taken no readings for the last month. I felt like it was for me to gather my energy, but the more I rest, the worse I feel. And I think it's because Spirit has a job for me to do. And it's a big job that I have never, ever tried before. And I'm going to do the damn thing. I'm going to give it my all for them because I know they need my help. They led me this far. Check this out. I did this yesterday, last night, and I got down to the bottom. And on February 11th, 1962, Julia Francis Moore supposedly jumped. Well, yesterday was February 11th, okay? And then I'm finishing up. And Elisa Lam was the very last one I wrote. I'm sorry, my voice. Elisa Lam was the very last person I wrote on my list. And it says February 19th. I didn't know the date it happened. My birthday is February 20th. Okay? And, like, I'm gonna cry. Oh, my God. Oh! I just know they're calling me. Every single one of them, I feel like, maybe not every single one, but 99% of everyone I have on this list, I feel like they didn't do this to themselves. Excuse me. They didn't do this to themselves. I feel like more than 99% of these people did not do this to themselves. I feel like you may have had 2 or 3 serial killers in the hotel back in the olden times, where I'm talking about 1920s to like 1940s, and then I'm talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like, seriously, I feel like there was 2 or 3 different things going on from different people. Could have been people that worked there, lived there, lived around there, something to that effect. But it's a lot, and I'm going to get down to it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to categorize all these people that passed in the Cecil Hotel, and reach out to them. There's only, look, this one is it's poisoned, gunshot wound to the head, right? Poison, gunshot wound to the head, slashed his own throat, an Army sergeant, right? Fell from the window, or jumped, or suicide. They're not sure. Jumped, poison, jumped, 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 jumped. Hold on. Somebody was found raped, stabbed, and beaten. That's the only one that's really off. Jumped. Jumped or fallen. They're not sure. Accidental drowning. Jumped. So there's a lot of jumpers, supposedly. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it. We are. I love you, babes.